What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I wanted to make this video. I'm actually kind of making it pretty quickly right after watching this trailer for season 2, and I wanted to show you guys and kind of get a little bit of reaction and break it down. So if you haven't seen this trailer, go and check out the Finals official YouTube channel. They've got the trailer there for season 2. This is the title for it, CNS, Are You Ready? CNS, I guess. I don't know, some weird cryptic thing. And the video starts about a minute 13, minute 15 in-ish, because it was a premiere, so it sets up for it in the beginning. All that being said, I'm going to assume that you guys already watched the video, so I'm going to be pausing it and breaking stuff down that I kind of saw and questions that I have and all that kind of stuff, and see what is new and what we're kind of looking forward to. So let's get into it and break down kind of what's going on. Oh, I realized I had it at 0.25 speed. Yeah, we're definitely going to be slowing it down at some point.
The clock is counting down, and the Retros need to make a move to avoid getting knocked down.
Indeed, the socialites are defending hard and are you messing with the street?
There seems to be...
Are you ready for something else?
So to start off, it just kind of introduces us, the way it's done it in the past as well. It kind of introduces CNS to us in the same kind of way, where they're glitching the system or they're hacking into the system. We don't know much about CNS or like what their intentions really are, but they've sent a lot of cryptic messages throughout updates and new events and whatnot through cutscenes, talking about, you know, learning the truth outside the walls and all of that kind of stuff. So we don't really know what their full intention is, but it seems like they were trying to hack into the finals, because as we know, the finals is a virtual world or a program that it's kind of like, I guess you can think about it like the Matrix, where it's not real, it's not the real world, it's a virtual program. So CNS seems to be hacking into it and trying to either warn the players or the people that are in it, or trying to get them to see the truth behind the walls. That's something that they've said. So I don't really know what, again, their full intention is. We don't know a lot about the organization of CNS, but here they are hacking into the system again and trying to say, are you ready for, you know, what they're about to give us?
We are CNS, and we are here to change the game.
So they said something interesting there. We're here to change the game. And you'll kind of see what they mean by that throughout the trailer, but it's interesting to think about that, because if you think about the lore of the finals, why are they changing the game? I thought originally that they were trying to like get us out of the game, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. It looks like they're trying to change the game from the outside in. So that's interesting to think about. Right off the bat, when we get the first kind of shot of some of the new skins that we've got going on here, they've got this like orange shirt with the like military vest on, nice cool jacket with like the red bandana. It's got a little bit more of like a karate type vibe, and then you've got more of a military straight up like military uniform. That's cool. Looks sick. Yeah, that helmet looked sick. Actually, we can go back to that. So like, where is it? There it is. That helmet looks sick. That'd be a cool sick skin. Some more skin stuff. Emo goth girl going on here. Cool like character. That looks like a, what is it, Bubblegum World or World of Gumball or whatever, you know, that show. A little bit more nerdy glasses over here, so that's interesting. Okay, so that's weird, is the whole robot. Now I know that the finals has pets, and this makes me think maybe this is a pet. I don't think it would be like a ability or like a, you know, a tactical like equipment or something like that. I would have to assume that this is some sort of a pet or something that you can get later on. But either way, pretty cool. Right now, as it stands, they only have 2 pets that are available in the finals, which is like a crow and like a cat. So this would be cool if you could have this pet. Also, I don't really understand the intention behind pets other than just like an aesthetic purpose out in the like main menu. There's nothing that you can really do with them in game. There's like emotes that you can do, but as far as like in game, they don't really serve any function. They don't actually like do anything for you. All right, some more cool skins if you're into that. Some more animal kind of skins. It looks like an owl type situation, maybe like more of like a fox, and then obviously a rabbit. That's pretty cool skin. The one with like the TV helmet, that's pretty sick. All right, so right off the bat, they introduced us to some maps, which look awesome. Definitely the same kind of concept, obviously with a lot of buildings, but it looks very different. Looks a little bit like it's glitched out in certain areas, or looks interesting. Like there's like instead of the glitches that you might find through the map of the finals, or when CNS is hacking into the finals, it's almost like it's built into the structure itself, which is interesting aesthetic. And here they show kind of like, I think you know, like a nighttime scene. So this is more of what it's going to probably look like in like the nighttime variation, which looks really cool, a little bit more retro, like Miami Vice type vibes. And then you've got like super bright sunny day, I'm assuming, with like crazy, you know, rainbow effects and stuff. It's very colorful, very bright. But again, that geometry is like almost built into the world, rather than it just being like blocks of geometry or data that is being like hacked into. So I don't know if that's CNS is doing and they modified the program to do that kind of stuff, or if that's like a side effect of them hacking into it. But the levels look freaking awesome. You know, a lot of verticality, it looks like. These look like a lot more tighter like hallways and tighter like areas, rather than a lot more open spaces that we might be used to. Like, I don't know over here what's off camera to the right or the left, but like even this area looks kind of like it's a little bit tighter than most of the corridors and hallways and streets that we're used to with the maps that we have right now. Usually it's very open, and if you get on a roof, you have kind of like line of sight across almost the entire map on a lot of the maps. This looks like a lot more cover, but a lot more verticality. So like, I'm assuming you can go up into even higher places in a lot of these buildings. So again, here's another shot of like that geometry that's like built in. It's kind of weird. But again, this corridor, there's a lot more verticality, it looks like, rather than just a straight up open field. So it's a lot more cityscape. All right, here we get the first kind of unofficial shot of what looks to be like a new weapon. So this looks like a heavy, just based purely off of what I'm looking at here. I don't know if it's a heavy, it might be a medium, it might even be a light, I don't know. But this weapon does not look like a weapon that we currently have in rotation right now. The shotguns that we currently have right now, there's one for medium, one for heavy, one for light. The light one is like a short double barrel, like a short type of gun. It's a SH 1900 shotgun, and it's a double barrel one, so that's not this one. The heavy shotgun is the SA 1216, and that's a much longer, has like a bigger magazine in the front. That's kind of like a horizontal magazine, and it's not pump action, it's automatic shotgun, so it's not that one. And it's not the Model 1887, which is the one for the medium class, because the Model 1887 is a lot longer. It almost looks like more of a rifle type of feel, and this one looks like is actually like one that you cock back. So this looks more like a, I don't know, like a 12 gauge type of shotgun, which is kind of crazy. So this is definitely going to be a new weapon. I just don't know where it's going to fit or who it's going to be for. Like I said, based off of what I'm looking at here, looks like it might be for a heavy, but if it's for a heavy, I don't know why, because their shotgun right now is kind of broken. It's one of the more overpowered weapons in the game. So I don't know if they necessarily need another shotgun, but maybe this one, I don't know, is more situational than even the other shotgun. Be interesting to see, but this is definitely a new weapon here. So let me go back here. Let me see this frame. Didn't really check out a whole lot of stuff. So don't know what's going on back there, but that almost looks like a new weapon. I can't really tell. If that's a helmet skin, super sick.
Placing a gateway.
All right, so let's talk about this. This is the gateway grenade. Let me play and show you guys what apparently it's supposed to do. So apparently this gateway grenade makes portals. Now I've got a couple of questions about that, because while the idea is super sick, I don't know how they're going to execute this in the game itself, practically, I guess in practice. First of all, who gets this? Is it a light utility? Is it a heavy utility? Is it a medium utility? I have to assume that it's a light utility, because usually their grenades or what they offer, like they have the glitch grenade, for instance, and it's usually a little bit more like, what's the word? Like based on disrupting things. So the glitch grenade kind of goes hand in hand with this one, the gateway grenade, I guess is what they're going to call it. But this looks like it's creating a portal of some kind, and then you're able to go through it, and it takes you to another part of the level. Now, the part that I'm confused about this is how does that get executed where you throw a grenade? How does it know where to take you out of? So there's an entry point, obviously, and an exit point in a portal. How does it know where the exit point is? Is it just a matter of like being a certain distance so it goes in a straight line? Does it give you some sort of like HUD or pull up some sort of like, you know, thing that you can choose on your screen, some sort of diagram or whatever that says, hey, you want to put your exit point here? You know, I don't really know how that's going to play out. So I don't know if you just throw it and it kind of automatically does its thing. But if we look kind of where we're, you know, at this clip right here, when we first hit this gateway grenade, you see they're running towards this Discover Love billboard thing right in front of them with all this colors on this building. They're running towards that thing, right? The glitch or the gateway grenade gets thrown right in front of them. Okay. And by the way, this weapon right here that this person has is the M11 for the light. So if this person or this perspective, if they're the ones that threw the gateway grenade, then it's definitely going to be a light tactical, because this is an M11. So the perspective that we're looking at of right now in this frame is from a light's perspective. If that's the case, then this is definitely going to be a light tactical. But going back to the gateway grenade, if you look at this billboard in front of them saying Discover Love, and then we play the video, and I'm actually going to slow it down here just a little bit. If we play the video and they go through the gateway grenade, they're actually at that, what it appears to be at that same billboard, just further up ahead. So this might be a situation where the gateway grenade only allows you to basically jump forward or teleport forward a certain distance, which would make sense, right? That would make more sense than it just being like, because then how would you be able to pick where the out of the portal is? So I think that's what's happening here. You throw the gateway grenade, you jump through it, and it actually just shoots you forward, and it teleports you forward a certain distance. I'm assuming you're going to be able to do that through walls, through objects, through whatever, and that would be pretty sick. So, and I don't know if there's verticality into play here. So for instance, if I throw this gateway grenade vertically, like if I throw it on a ceiling, if we're on the bottom floor and I throw it at a ceiling, can we jump through that gateway and then go to like the top floor? That would be a different way to get around rather than jump pads or zip lines where you're a little bit more exposed. So something to think about there. So get this awesome frame, looks really cool. This is, you know, going against what I just said, the whole open thing. This is definitely way more open than a lot of the other corridors that we were looking at. But this looks beautiful, different level, different map, looks awesome. I love the map design in this game, but we're still looking at it through the lights perspective. So there's that. They're shooting the M11, nothing too different to see there. But here, if you see, they are jumping out at what appears of another gateway, and now they're in midair. So this is why I asked that question, if there's any verticality. Did they throw that gateway from the ground up, or were they maybe off of, like, if again, we can't see behind the camera technically, or behind with this person's perspective, maybe they're coming off of a cliff or off of a height. Not entirely sure, but something to think about again. So that skin is pretty sick. It's like glitching out the entire time. So here's another gateway grenade. So let's see if, okay, so if my theory is correct, where you throw a gateway grenade and it just teleports you forward a certain distance, you would be walking straight into this and going through the wall here into that building. So that might be the case. I think that's kind of almost what appears to be happening here, where you kind of jump or teleport forward a certain distance. I wonder if it kind of is like object aware. Maybe you throw it and at the end point is like in a wall, but it pushes you past that wall, kind of a thing. I don't really know. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay, so here's the second ability that's new. It's called, apparently down here on the bottom left, it's called a data reshaper or data reshaper. This is interesting. So as you can see here in this clip, this person, and again, I don't know if this is a light or whatnot. We'll try to break it down and see if it's a medium or a heavy or a light. But they're jumping down, and there's a turret here, enemy turret that they're jumping onto. They jump on it, and it's almost like it's highlighting it here with this like like showing the geometry, showing the code behind the turret. And they have their little iPad out, and then they hit, I guess, they toggle that ability, and now it just reshapes it to a harmless sign, which is very interesting. Now I can't really tell what weapon they just pulled out, so I don't know what class this is, but this is interesting because it basically means you don't have to use, I guess, a grenade or a glitch grenade, but you're still using an ability, but you don't have to shoot anything. So it just kind of shuts down any sort of equipment or like harmful, lethal equipment quickly. But then you're using up an ability slot. So I don't know how I feel about that, but maybe there's more to it, because we'll see 2 more examples here in these next 2 clips. So there's that one that we saw with the turret. There's this one. They actually took a green barrel, right, a green gas barrel, and turned it into a red canister. Now, obviously that's good for heavies so that they can make a nuke. Then you can still make a nuke with the toxic barrels, but it's better with the red barrels. And actually, now that I look at that, that's the second thing to talk about. This green turns to red, and then you'll see this weapon here. I'm going to slow it down even more so we can see this weapon. So this weapon is definitely a new weapon, because there is no weapon in this game that looks like this. So I don't know who's getting this weapon, so I can't tell you if this is heavy, medium, or light. Just based off of like the height off of this wall and kind of the height of the canister as opposed to the perspective of what we're looking through right now, I would have to say this is either a medium or light, but I don't know. But this is definitely a new weapon, so we're going to see more of this weapon later on, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, this is the part that I find very, very interesting. We saw right now the turret getting reshaped and this canister getting reshaped. But if we go to this next clip, there's actually 3 things highlighted. So I'm assuming that this area of selection isn't limited to just one thing. This looks like they're selecting this entire area, or kind of highlighting this entire area, and then anything that's in this area gets reshaped. So that part's really interesting. Also, the fact that you're able to reshape a green canister into a red canister, does that mean that you get to pick what it gets reshaped into? I don't really know. Let me know in the comments what you think, but that part's really interesting to me, because on the first clip, they just reshape it to a sign, right? Then the second clip, they actually get to apparently choose what canister they want. Okay. And then the third clip, they get to basically have all 3 of these highlighted, and with all 3 of these highlighted, they can switch it to whatever they want. Again, these are like plants, and that's a sign. So I'm interested to see kind of how you can, or what you can reshape things into. Is it just like automatic and it just reshapes it to whatever it wants? It's random every time? I don't really know. So that part's interesting to think about. And here's that weapon again, by the way. We're going to see more of it later on. So the next ability is called the Dematerializer. Now this one's interesting only because if we see here, make a hole in the ceiling, and it doesn't break the ceiling, it just creates a hole in the ceiling. And then you'll see it goes away, which is interesting. So they open up that ceiling so that the cash out can fall down. And then if you look up here, it just goes away. So they didn't actually break that part of the building, they just opened it up and then closed it again, which is like a quick way to be able to like open and close parts of the geometry. Now, right off the bat, the first thing that I think about is like, why wouldn't you just blow this up, right? The benefit there is that you obviously don't have a hole in the wall that you now have to watch out for like incoming fire from enemies, but at the same time, they can just blow it up. So again, I'm interested to see how this is going to play out, but in this next clip, you'll see this one makes a little bit more sense, because this one, they open up a hole on a wall where they can now shoot through. Now this is cool. I get the point of this, because you don't want to necessarily break that wall using RPG or C4 or something like that, and be able to have a two-way entry point and exit point for your enemies as well too. You can pop this open, take shots, get a flank on an enemy. Here's that gun again, by the way, and it looks like it's a burst weapon. And then you're able to close it up with the dematerializer. That's a hard word to say. So interesting. I'm interested to see also too if it's like a one-way like mirror where only you can shoot through and they can't shoot back. I wonder if that's the case, because if not, like I said, I think this one might be, I don't know, not as useful, because you do have C4s, you do have RPGs, you do have other ways to be able to get through a wall. So if the enemies can still shoot through this, then that's where I'm like, I don't know how useful that'll be. So let's play back in real time so we can see. Yeah. So another thing you'll notice too in this clip with the weapon is that this is a burst weapon. So that's pretty sick. It's like almost like a FAMAS, F-A-M-A-S. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which that's pretty sick. All right, so the next ability we have is an anti-gravity cube. So pretty much looks exactly like what it sounds like, anti-gravity. Now, something that I've noticed right off the bat when I first watched this trailer is they threw this anti-gravity cube, and here's the area of effect here, and you see the cash out is getting kind of floating up because there's no more gravity, but the turret doesn't. So the turret stays in place. Now, the part that to me is kind of lame is, what would be the point of being able to throw that and get the cash out to float up into the air, or a person to float up into the air, or another object or item to float up into the air, if you can't do that with enemies' tacticals? Now, this is only the turret that's in here that's an enemy tactical, but at the end of the day, now this is only a turret that's here that's an enemy's tactical. So I don't know if it's only turrets that don't get affected by it. So for instance, like if a heavy has barricades or whatever the case might be, if there's other ones that do get affected by this anti-gravity cube, then that's cool, and maybe it's just the turret that doesn't get affected. But it would be nice to have it affect more things than just the cash out in a person. Now the other part of it too is, you can see in this next clip, I'm going to slow it down here. You can see in this next clip, things are floating up, right? And then this guy comes in, this person that we're watching comes in and is now also floating up towards the cash out. So obviously it does affect people. I wonder if that affects their aim or their ability to move or shoot, or however, like I wonder if it has the same kind of effect as a stun grenade, for instance. So if you throw a gravity cube, anti-gravity cube, on an enemy player, do they then get like kind of locked out from being able to shoot their weapon or jump or crouch or move around? Is it like basically not letting them have mobility, which would be kind of nice? So it could be used as a defensive thing as well too. So that's pretty cool. They end up sealing that. And then the trailer goes into another part.
We seem to be having some technical but one thing for
So here is another thing I would really want to talk about that I'm extremely excited about. So first of all, they say new game mode, which is cool. They're going to talk about that later on in the trailer here. And then the next part is new weapons. That's pretty sick. We saw that one weapon already. And actually, if I go back to this clip right here, you can actually see it a little bit better when he reloads. I think he reloads. Or here it is. So there's that weapon. Looks like a FAMAS. Looks like that kind of a thing. It's a three round burst. Again, I don't know who's getting this weapon. But yeah, looks sick. So I like burst weapons personally. I've always liked like the M16 and stuff from COD. So I'm looking forward to this one. But here, let's see. They say new game mode, new weapons, new abilities, which we saw those, new map, which is awesome. And then there it is. We did it, fellas. And ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Private matches. That is going to be massive right there. And I'll tell you why. I have a bunch of buddies of mine who play every once in a while, play with me, ranked, unranked, whatever the case might be. And I like to get competitive sometimes. So I'm currently on my way to Diamond. I'm almost there. If I don't get there by the end of Season 1, it's fine. But I'm Plat 1 right now as it stands, and I get really sweaty sometimes. But every once in a while, I want to play with my buddies who play this every once in a while, and they might still be in gold or silver, and they're not really caring too much about like the competitive aspect of it. Private matches is going to make it so that we can play together and have so much fun. We can also experiment on levels, try different things, find Easter eggs, learn more about, I guess, the way certain things work, test things out with better testing environment, because right now you can't bring people into the practice range with you, so that's kind of just negates all of any sort of testing that you want to do with other people. So private matches are massive. They also are going to be great for scrims, for competitive, because now you can have actual competitive teams fighting other competitive teams rather than having to do what they do now, which is queue sniping. So this is huge. This is going to be awesome. And then the last one, and then they say from CNS with love. And here we go. Then they introduce the 5v5 game mode. All right. I want to talk about this real quick. We've seen these skins that were the opening skins in this trailer. You see this weapon is the M11, I believe it is, from the light. There's that shotgun that we saw earlier. This looks like an FCAR, but this weapon, I don't know what this weapon is. And we might see it later on during this gameplay here that they're going to show a little bit of. But that's a new weapon right there, for sure. It looks like a pistol with some sort of like stock on it. And potentially for like, a burst pistol. So we'll see a little bit more of that here in a second. And then we switch over to these people, and here is something I want to talk about. So this is the Lewis gun. This is the MGL, whatever it is. This looks like it's a AK. Okay, this looks like the LH1, the like hunting rifle type of thing for the light class. But this weapon, I have no idea what weapon this is. This does not look like the FAMAS that we've been looking at with the 3-round burst. This looks like a completely new weapon that we have not seen yet. There's no weapon currently that's in the game that looks like this, that has the magazine behind the grip. So I don't know what weapon this is, but really interested to learn more about this weapon. So it looks like as of right now, potentially every class got a new weapon, got one new weapon. So the light class got a new weapon, the medium and the heavy class got a new weapon. It looks like that's the case. I don't know though. All right, so this is apparently called 5v5 Power Shift, and this is a new game mode. First of all, 5v5, sick. As you know right now, the squads are limited to 3, so I'm interested to see how they're going to do that. Where are they going to allow you to play 5v5, and then if you want to go to a normal quick cash or ranked tournament or whatever the case might be, you have to essentially drop 2 of your players. I don't really know how that's going to work, but this is a 5v5 game mode, which is awesome. So it allows for more friends to play together. All right, so this is crazy looking. I don't know. This is some sort of moving platform just like we have with other game modes, but this just looks like a much bigger, more like robust platform. It looks like an actual arena in here, like some sort of like small, octagon type of situation. It's not an octagon, I know. It's like a whatever, like a circle-ish, rectangle circle-ish. But look at this. Look at this pistol. This pistol does not look like a normal pistol. This does not look like the light pistol, the V9. I mean, it could be, but I don't see a silencer on it. So I think this is the new pistol. So as you can see, there's people apparently fighting on this like ring, on this moving platform. Other people are trying to get in here. I'm assuming it's some sort of King of the Hill type of thing where you have to hold this platform for a certain amount of time while everybody's trying to get at you. It doesn't look like there's any sort of cash out or anything on this actual platform. It just literally looks like you have to hold it because there's a turret, there's 2 barrels, there's a team on it, and this person's coming. By the way, here's that new weapon, pretty sure. Burst pistol. We'll look at it again. Yeah, it's a burst pistol, so this looks like a new weapon. But again, if we look here, you've got a turret, 2 barricades, and a team, but I don't see a cash out anywhere. I don't see a vault. I don't see anything else. So I think it's literally just holding this as much as you can. And it's apparently busting through a wall here, which is interesting. So I'm assuming that there's like a set path, and then whatever's in the way just gets absolutely destroyed. The other thing we can look at here is there's the FAMAS looking gun, or whatever that is. some sort of gun, and that's a new one. And it looks like maybe this is on a medium. Doesn't look like a light because this looks like a heavy with the MLG or MGL or whatever. This looks potentially like a medium, and that looks like maybe it is the FAMAS. I'm not entirely sure. So here's that shotgun that we talked about earlier. Looks like a lot more short ranged. And this thing is crazy. It's just coming through all the buildings. There's that, like, again, that FAMAS looking gun again. There's that pistol again. And was that a cash out actually? Oh no, that wasn't a cash out. Anyways, March 14th. That's this Thursday. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm especially excited for the private matches. So let me know what you guys think, or if you guys saw anything else in the video that I didn't see. If this was a good little breakdown, then consider subscribing, or maybe at least leaving me a like. I'm really excited for season 2. I told everybody that I was going to make plans with my wife, but now I'm canceling those plans, and she might leave me, but guess what? I'm going to make it to the finals.